What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the SHIPIT Nation. First look for the Players Championship, and I guess this is what the fifth major they call it. I mean, prize pools are massive on DraftKings. FanDuel, I kind of looked it up, and they didn't really do too much. So, primary conversation here will be DraftKings. We'll check out the player pool. We'll check out the prices, see what we can find there. We'll also go through some of the contests that they're featuring this week and look through that as well. In terms of last week, Scotty Scheffler kind of ran away with it. We talked about it on the shows last week, and I kind of made the joke because he switched putters. I made the joke. I was like, hey, I'd be fine with him using a Fisher Price plastic putter because what he's using before wasn't working. He just absolutely got the job done, dusted the field. And if he's like an average putter moving forward with this new putter, it is going to be some big time trouble for the rest of the PGA Tour because this guy is freaking good. And I had a lot of them. Didn't have the right combinations last week, but way over the field on Scotty. Interested to kind of look him up this week and see, his price for some of these other guys. All I've seen so far is his first page. I haven't really looked into it. So we'll dive in. I'll dive in with you guys and give you guys my initial reaction to some of these tiers, some of these prices. But one thing I wanted to get into before I talk about the salaries is the new promo that we are launching today. And if you're not a member, now is going to be a great time to get in. The promo code is Masters15. Masters15 gets you 15% off any package over at SHIPIT Nation. For the PGA only monthly, it takes you from $39 to just $33.15 per month. It's the cheapest all-in price in the industry. Everyone else, the standard now is like $500 per sport. If you want the all access, it'll give you all our sports, all 8 main sports on DraftKings for that $500 price tag. Also, for these PGA only monthly packages that we do offer, if you get it now, you're going to have full access all the way through the Masters. That's why we've named it Masters 15. So you sign up for the Players. We'll take you all the way through the Masters with our PGA content again. And if you want the all access, you get all the other sports as well. NBA playoffs will be marching in here pretty soon. UFC continues to be one of our best sports title. Marley do a phenomenal job with that. So Masters 15 is the promo that we will be running. If you're waiting on the sidelines right now, is obviously a great time to get in. This gets you all the way through the Masters, which, I mean, the prize pools for the players are big. I can't imagine what we're going to see for the Masters. It's going to be absolutely massive. So make sure to get in and check that out if you guys have not done so already. I'll remind you at the end. Let's go ahead, click this back in. Maybe, let's see. Boom. Share screen. Whoops. We'll get it going here. We got my leader is no longer with me, Tambo. He is on vacation. So hoop solo today is what you get. All right. Masters 15 is a promo, as I said. Do us that favor, hit the like, hit the subscribe on this video. Helps us out a ton in growing this channel. Just hit that 6,000 mark. Another part of that promo that I did want to mention, that we'll be doing some upgrades for people that use that code Masters15. So any person who uses it for a PGA annual, 6-month, or an all access annual will get their money back. So if you do any of those packages, the annual, the 6-month, or the all access, one person that signs up using the code Masters15 will get their money back on that. So make sure to check us out, Masters15, if you are not already a member. And again, you guys can ask questions along the way here. Makes it a little easier going through the show. So if you have any questions along the way, do not hesitate to ask. I got our guy Ryan in the Ryan Shepard in here. I got to see his EVR in the field because I know, EVR 7,300. So I know he'll be making some EVR comments here along the way. Shout out to our guy, Jay Steele. First in, it's not letting me show his comment, but man, these comments are not popping up for me here. Not sure what's going on. Okay, anyhow, we'll go through and must be something wrong here. We'll go through and kind of talk through the pricing. So the one thing that definitely stands out at the top is definitely Scotty Scheffler checking in at 12.8K. It's a big boy price tag. Not sure if you guys have me or not. My whole screen just cut out. Give me some verification in the chat. All right, I think we're back in action. That's why the comments weren't loading. Do you guys have me? Just wanted to make sure. We'll continue on. I'll keep talking. All right, cool. Can you guys hear me as well? Hopefully. Not sure what happened. All right, good. We're good to go. Sorry about that. Not sure what happened there. Totally got kicked out of streaming. All right, we're back in. So Scotty Scheffler checking in at 12.8, and that's a big boy price tag. And I've been talking about this for a while. These guys at the top end, specifically a guy like Scotty Scheffler, should be closer to that $13,000 mark. And you need to make people really make the decision, make sacrifices in their lineups if they want to go with a guy like Scotty. And this week, you probably have to do it. 7.4K if you want to play Scotty Scheffler. I love that. At these big field, major type events, people will always sell themselves on the mid tier, which we'll get to in a minute. I want to be on a guy like Scotty. So as the week goes on, I think what we'll see is his ownership come down a little bit, despite the great results. I mean, the results have been phenomenal. And now, this putter situation could be big time trouble for everyone else if he's able to just be average putter. It doesn't have to be great, average. And he's going to dust some fields, which we saw last week. So him coming in at 12.8, we'll do just the 10K and above, which we have 6 guys. But there is quite a gap in the pricing. Like Victor Hovland's 10-1, $1,700 more dollars for Scotty Scheffler. So that's one thing that definitely stands out. You got Rory at 11.6, so he's a full $1,200 cheaper than Scotty. And man, just the results have not been good. He had one good round last week, shot the 68 in round 3, but outside of that, nothing special. A lot of right around 20 place finish, 21st, 21st, 24, 66, 22nd. Game doesn't look fully right. And I don't know. It'll be interesting to see where his ownership does end up falling this week as the week goes on. Like I said, these prices just kind of came out. But Rory at 11.6, I don't know how I feel about him. Xander at 11.3. That's a little more than we typically see for a guy like Xander. I did want to pull up the odds here and just kind of see where he's at. 11.3. I think a lot of people could just not skip Rory and Xander. And again, we'll see once the ownership kind of comes out. Rory is 12-1, and then Xander is 22. So I think a lot of people can sell themselves on some of these guys a little cheaper in this like next tier over Xander and maybe even over Rory. So we'll see. JT continues to play well. Besides the 1 week when he played with Tiger at the Genesis, his game was in shambles, but he looked great last week, and he'd been awesome prior to that. So him at 10.6 is a strong option. Cantlay at 10.3. Didn't really get it going last week. Got off to a slow start. Managed a 36. And then you have Hovland at 10.1, who just has not had the best season. So I think what a lot of people might end up doing this week, could be wrong, is they end up selling themselves more on the mid tier. Scotty at 12.8, big boy price tag. I mean, the highest price tag we've seen in a while. Do you want to go there? Rory hasn't been great. Xander, it looks like a big price tag. JT, biggest price tag we've seen on him in a while. Cantlay not golfing great. Hovland not golfing great. Do people just say, hey, I'm good getting off some of these guys and going to the mid tier? I think we see a lot of mid tier builds this week. And again, that could change as the week goes on, but that's one thing that definitely stands out when looking at this top tier range. Coming down into the 9Ks, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 10 guys in the 9K range. So it's $100 separating all these guys. Zalatoris, 9.9. He looked good last week. Fell a little short, obviously, but that's back-to-back really solid finishes. Tougher course. People could easily get to him. Hideki, a lot of people talked about the back injury last week. He was low-owned. He looked fine. Kind of fell apart in round 4, but prior to that was in contention. I know he was right there, tied for the lead on Saturday. Wyndham Clark, he's kind of been up and down, but the ups are really, really good. They had the win at Pebble Beach, and then the second last week. but it is a bigger price tag than we've seen from a guy like Wyndham. Homa hasn't really gotten much going this year. Spieth, same thing. Morikawa is very interesting. He's typically a very popular guy, but fell apart round 2 at the Arnold Palmer, shot at 80, and he really hasn't had a finish that you'd absolutely need in GPPs. But people love playing him. The price tag is fair. Aubert 93. People will get to him, I'm sure. Sam Burns at 92. Fell apart round 4. I mean, he was right there, but he opened up with a triple, I believe, on the first hole, and that really set him back. Fine going to him. Shane Lowry, a big boy price tag after, was it 2 or 3? Yeah, back-to-back solid performances, 9,100. And then Cam Young continued to play okay. I mean, 36. Again, he had a bad round 4 as well. So what do people do in this range? My initial guess is Zalatoris is probably the highest owned. Aubert, Morikawa always gets the ownership, and then Sam Burns, I think, are the 4 that people look to here. 9-8 for Hideki. People can say I'll pass on that. Wyndham Clark's been up and down. Homa had the 8th last week, 16th. Maybe people do get to Homa. Spieth, I'm not sure what people do there, but it is a loaded range, and you can start here. Just click on 2 random names. You play Spieth, Aubert, you got 7,800. So it's a range where, I think there's a lot of question marks, but we will see some ownership because people will sell themselves on some of this. Some of these sell themselves on the mid-tier build. Why is Tiger not here? Well, he just does not look to be in golfing condition after that last time out. Oh, we got Willie Z is back. Yeah, I mean, we had the price break on him for a while. We were able to take advantage of it, but I don't think we're going to see that anytime soon unless he kind of falls off a cliff a little bit. He's been really good these last 2 events, and tough courses, kind of where you want him. Home going to be lowest owned in the 9K potentially, although when I pulled it up, like he's got a 16th, he's got the 8th place last time out. People do value recent form. I could see people getting to him. If I was going to pick someone to be the lowest owned in this range, I'm going to say it's either Hideki or Lowry. It's a big boy price tag for Hideki. People like him when he's a little cheaper. And then Lowry, definitely a price increase. Has been like he's in the 7Ks there for a while. So I think people could potentially, get off those 2 and they come in pretty low owned. Yeah, and then Sam Burns, I played him last week. I had him tagged as like a cash play just because he's the type of guy that kind of goes on these streaks. When he's playing well, you want to play him. When he's not playing well, just kind of stay off him. Has been playing well. I played well last week, except round 4. Is this a recent form over course history event in your opinion? I don't know. I think a lot of people either just play it one way or the other. For me, I'm always going to lean recent form over course history. I mean, there are some situations though where you can make exceptions. Some guys are just really good no matter what at certain tracks, but for me, it's going to be recent form over course history. Travel to the 8K, see what we find here, and probably going to be more question marks. Jason Day, so a lot of people must finish 36 because he's another one. So that was the 2 over group. Steady all week, just didn't really get it going. Fleetwood had the disaster on I think it was the 6th hole where he shot like a 10 on the hole and his weekend was over. So it really, for him, he was right there, not in contention, but he was looking fine to make the cut. I think he was above the cut line at that time. So it was really one bad hole for him. Can he bounce back? Sure. Thigala, I don't know, like 8,700 for him seems like a lot, but I guess the one thing for sure that we can talk about, because someone has mentioned in the chat, the 5K range is back. That's why we're seeing some of these guys look a little more expensive. Russell Henley continues to play really solid golf. 4th. He's made a lot of cuts in a row here. Had the 4th at the Sony. I think he could potentially do well. Tony Finau, 8,500. It's a fair price. Like, these are guys that are going to fit these balanced type builds. If you want to play him, and I'll just punch in another guy, got 8,300. So you can live in this range if you want. You can load up 5-6 guys in the 8K range, and you don't have to take many chances. Sungjae finally bounced back a little bit last week, 18th. I think he is I don't know. I got to talk to Tambo on Sungjae. He's the Sungjae whisperer, although he's been whispering him a lot lately, and the results have not been great. But 18th last week, he bounced back a little bit. Corey Connors heading in the right direction. Again, he didn't play all that good. Round 4 kind of fell off, but a lot of made cuts. Some top 20s at 8,300. I mean, you just want him to get into that top 20, work his way up to the top 15. He could be a guy that you need. Fitzpatrick, I don't know. Something is just not right with Fitzpatrick. I played Fitzpatrick last week and 74, 75, just could never get anything going. He's just not playing well. His made cuts haven't been all that good. 21st at the Cognizant and then 15th at the Waste Management Phoenix Open. And then the bottom end here, the 8K range, Tom Kim, Benyon, Minwoo, Siwoo. A lot of Asian guys down here. Tom Kim, Benyon, Minwoo, and Siwoo. Siwoo, 8K, fine. Minwoo, Benyon, Tom Kim. I think they're all solid options, solid values, to be honest with you. You can make a lot work. Tom Kim, the results have not been great lately. But at 8,100, again, he's kind of similar to Corey Connors. Can he get in that top 20? Work his way up a little bit? Yeah, I think he can. It's like the lowest price tag we've seen in quite some time. So in this 8K range, guys that I think end up getting some ownership. Fleetwood always gets owned. I think Corey Connors will get some ownership. Tony Finau, and then I think like Siwoo, Minwoo, Benyon, all will get some. I mean, and I think they're fine options, to be honest with you. Just wanted to remind you guys, if you're just tuning in, we got that new promo that we launched today. Let's see if I can do this without fucking it up. Masters 15. So if you're not a member, you can use that code Masters 15. Gets you 15% off any packs. You can also upgrade too if you are a member. If you are a member and you want to upgrade to an annual, you can get 15% off. So if you want to try just the PGA or the monthly all access, this will get you all the way through the Masters. So you get the Players, you get the Masters. The prize pools for the Players will be huge. So get on over shipitnation.com, use that code Masters15. Oh, that's how you do it. Just click just one button to not mess it up. And somehow I messed it up before. All right, let's check out the 7K range, see what we can find here. So this is where you're going to start seeing some value creep in, and guys that make a lot of things work. At the top, you have Brian Harman, who I believe has played well here. Harman, Keegan Bradley, Harris English, solid finish last week. Did fall off a little bit round 4, but he was right there in contention going into the 4th round. Shot the 77, tougher conditions yesterday. A lot of guys kind of went backwards. Tom Hoge continued his solid play. I mean, look at this from Tom Hoge. 6th, 17th, 8th, 28th, 12th. He's playing solid golf right now. JT Poston, back-to-back, not great finishes, but the price tag is now down to 77. He's a guy, he was creeping up in these price ranges as of late because of how well he's played, back down. Eric Cole bounced back with the 21st last week. Outside the miscut at the Cognizant, where he's like the highest owned golfer, he's been solid. Adam Scott screwed a lot of people last week. Missed the cut, one of the higher owned guys. I believe he is 3rd or 4th in ownership. Do people go back to him? Chris Kirk was solid for the most part. Not a great weekend. Shot the 76, tied for 44th now. Adam Hadwin had a solid week. Again, fell apart a little bit over the weekend, but what did he show? Well, really, it was all in the back of a 69 in round 1. But wouldn't hate going back to him. Keith Mitchell, Bez, Griot, Ricky Fowler. I'm going to just continue to not play Ricky. I mean, it hasn't hurt me much lately. EVR for our guy. Continued pretty solid play. 25th last week. Outside the miscut at the Waste Management Phoenix Open. That is 5 out of 6 events, top 25 or better, 7,300. Yeah, probably can do that. Noren, Jaeger, Hogard, Knapp finally fell apart. Man, I was on him last week. I thought maybe he's the dude. Maybe he's the man. Fought to make the cut. He made the cut on the number and then shot the 81 in round 3. Just a complete nuke job. Just ruined his entire week. 7,100. Can we go back? Ooh, I don't know. Cam Davis, Justin Rose. So a lot of golfers in this range, the $7,900 range. Guys that I think get the most ownership. I'm going to go probably guys like Chris Kirk, Harris English because of how well he has played. And that's probably it. Grillo. Maybe Grillo gets some. I kind of glossed over him, but he's been playing really well dating back to the beginning of the year. Nothing worse than 44th place at 7,400. So definitely a guy to consider this week. Like him quite a bit. So it's a pretty loaded up range. A lot of options here, value options, and guys that have been playing well. So could definitely come here. Now the 6K range. So we have the 6 and the 5, and there's a lot of guys in the 5K range. And someone had mentioned earlier that it's very dusty down there. Yeah, 5K range is so dusty. Yeah, I mean, they're 5K golfers. I mean, that's you kind of what's the saying? You get what you pay for. And these guys, yeah, they are bad. But we'll talk about the 6K first. Let's see, 6K range. I'm just going to kind of go through. Nick Taylor had a solid finish last week. Denny McCarthy, people like to play because the putter. Hostler, Gam, Pavon, 6,700. Man, all right. I used this term on our guy Jimmy Stanger a couple weeks ago, but Pavon, number one candidate for most disrespected price tag in this field at 67. The guy should be more expensive than 67. Love my guy Pavon. Luke List made the cut, 56, didn't really do shit. Austin Eckroat followed up his win with a 36. And again, is 36 great? No, but at 6,500, if he can get into the 30s, work his way up, definitely take that. Andrew Novak, 64. I mean, look at this, 8th, 9th, $6,400. I'll take my chances there. Patrick Rogers, I'll take my chances on him. Andrew Putnam, 8th place finish last week, 6,300. There's going to be a lot of 63 or 6K guys that we can take a look at. McNeely, 63. Wasn't great at the Cognizant, but playing better golf and 6,300 is kind of disrespectful. Hista Sune, 62. Good price. Fox, 62. There's a lot of good guys down here. Davis Thompson, Svensson, Kevin Yu. I mean, Kevin Yu at 6,100. He has some high-end finishes. 6th at the Farmers, 9th at the Cognizant, 3rd at the American Express, 6,100. I love this range. I'm going to be playing a lot of these guys. I mean, these are the guys you can plug in if you want to play Scotty Scheffler lineup. So just plug one in. Just give me Fox, Scheffler. Now I'm already back up to 7,700. Plug in a cheap 7K guy. Now I'm basically back in the 8K range, and I can get 3 legit golfers. So this range is going to be very valuable, I think, this 6K range. And I like a lot of these guys, to be honest with you. McCarthy, off the top of my head, McCarthy, Taylor, Pavon for sure. I mean, that's just a bad price. Eckroat, Novak, Rogers, Putnam, McNeely, even Batia at 6,200. This is the range right here, the 6K range. I'm very excited about this range. And this makes a lot of roster constructions work. I mean, let's start with the 6K. You're already in the upper 8s. Like, you can do a ton with roster construction by embracing some of these 6K guys. So, yeah, I'm going to be very interested in this 6K range. Now, you guys did mention, someone mentioned, 5K range is gross. They're down here for a reason. Yeah, I agree with the Bo Hostler stuff. Bo Hostler been playing well. Let's see. Just pull up his recent form. I mean, 6,800 for a guy that has gone 28th, 24th, 41st, 14th, 6th, 47th. And then back in November, he's solid. Like, that's a very disrespectful price tag for sure. So I'll be in on Hostler as well. I'm going to have a lot of these guys. 5K range, let's do the same thing. I just kind of want to see what happens just so before we talk about it, like what it gets us. Scheffler in the mid 5K range are basically right back into the 8Ks. Stanger, really, 55. Ooh, that would be exciting stuff. Not as excited as to play him here, but 55, I'll take some chances because now it's a thing. I've talked about the guy so much, I kind of have to be on him a little bit. Adam Shank, a couple guys down here that I always play Shank. The results have not been good. I don't know if I'll get to them this week. Mark Hubbard, though, at 58. I've been on Hubbard a lot, and the last 3 have not been great, but at 58, I will have some. Mackenzie Hughes at 57. Yeah, I don't hate that. I could get to him. not the worst. Thomas Dietrich, 57. Chesson Hadley is a guy I kind of like playing at some of these easier type courses. CT Pan finished 51st, but it was solid in the first 2 rounds. Shot the 78 in round 3. That really took him out of not contention, but a higher end finish. He is just had 56. Yeah, maybe get to him a little bit. Oh my gosh, my boy Bobby Mack is down here at 56. Oh yeah, definitely going to be on some Bobby Mack at 5,600. I mean, he is a guy last year that was competing in tough fields, like major type fields, and it hasn't been great, but his bounce back a little bit. The 6th at Mexico didn't do great at the Cognizant. 30. So he had to go to the Puerto Rico Open. That does suck a little bit, but I will play some Bobby Mack. What do we do with Valimaki? Cut. Yeah. You see it a lot where these guys get a high end finish and then they disappear for a while. It seems like the case with him. Carson Young at 5,500. Yeah, maybe. And can he make a cut and get into like 40th or 30th? And then here's my guy, Stanger, 5,500. Ooh, he was 3rd at the Puerto Rico too. Let's go, baby. Yeah, I think I might be in on some Jimmy Stanger this week. Something about the guy. It's kind of like a bit now where I've talked about him so much where I have to play him a little bit. Our guy Paul L knows what's up. Stanger Danger. Love that, man. That's our guy right there. Matt Wallace, where is he? Matt Wallace, 55. Yeah, I don't play a lot of Matt Wallace. Maybe at 55. We'll see. We got to see how some of these lineups work when we get in there and start building them. Start coming down. Oh, not too much down here. Not too much. If you guys see anything in this range that you want to talk about, I can pull them up. Troy Merritt. Yeah, maybe a little Troy Merritt. Who just won? Garnett. Where is he? Let's see where he's at. If you guys have any questions, feel free to get them in there. Garnett, he won at the Puerto Rico. Still don't think I'll play his ass this week, but good for him. Anything way down at the bottom? Man, David Lipsky, last time he was all the way down here, I believe, like he was almost first round leader, then found a way to miscut. Harry Hall, here's my guy down here. I will play Harry Hall. Harry Hall at 5K flat, definitely interested there. Mr. Neesmith, can we play Neesmith? Ooh, man, it's been bad for Neesmith. Probably not. Shelton, Skins, yeah, there's not a ton down here, but I will have some in my player pool. I mean, you can make a lot work. Let's just see if we go a Harry Hall lineup, plug in a guy like Scheffler, and then there you go. We're back into the 8K range where we're getting like realistic type golfers. So I'd be fine with those sort of builds. Woodland, our guy Jim Steele likes Woodland, 54. Yeah, I mean, he had that run at the Genesis, but it has not been great since. Again, I'm fine taking a chance on any 5K range guys. Like, if you like them, I'm totally fine because you're getting a totally different sort of roster construction. Do I do the Rainmakers? No, I've never really messed with the Rainmakers. Taylor Moore. Let's see. Just an easy cut maker. If he's been making cuts, I'm somewhat interested. He's at the top end, 55. Made the cuts. Yeah, I'm in on him for sure. Look at that. 48th last week. I didn't notice he was there last week. Yeah, so a lot of cuts. Just made them all. 5,900. Definitely take a chance on a guy like Taylor Moore. So yeah, I'm good with that. So I like what they did with the pricing, though. I like that we got Scotty all the way up to essentially 13K, which if Scotty comes in at 12K in this field, he's going to be 40% owned. I have no idea what he comes in at this week, but I do have a feeling a lot of people will sell themselves on these mid-tier builds. Like if you play 2 of these 8K guys that we talked about and you want some 9K exposure, boom, plug in there. So you got Siwoo, Minwoo, Cam, Young, Fleetwood, and then you have 8K left per spot. A lot of people are going to go with that sort of build, I think, which hopefully leaves Scotty not low owned, but lower than we would have anticipated. A lot of question marks up here. Rory hasn't been playing well. Xander, biggest price tag we've seen in a while. Justin Thomas has been playing well, but do people want to pay 10-6? Cantlay hasn't been playing great. Hovland has not been playing great. And man, I don't know. I think people can get away from this top end range for a multitude of reasons, which is going to leave mid-tier builds very popular, but we do have this 5K range, which does make it easier to get up here. So that'll be a very important talking point. I do like Nick Taylor. Let me just wrap this up real quick. I do think people will go with the mid tier, but with this 5K range, man, it is easy to get up to the top. Nick Taylor, I am in on Nick Taylor. What price is that? Taylor 69, a little higher than I would have liked, but he's playing well. And like the finishes are high end finishes. Waste management first, 12th last week. He just makes these. He has the ability to make like these deep putts. He really does. Yeah, so these sort of builds, Scotty Zalatoris, you play Taylor Moore, gives you 7,100. So you're getting some pretty reasonable guys. Obear, I mean, he's a guy coming into the season. I said I was just going to be on him every week. I see no reason not to be on him this week at 9,300. I mean, he has the well-rounded game to compete in these loaded fields. He was 25th last week, solid pretty much all week, 19th at the Genesis in a pretty loaded field. Yeah, I'm going to be in on this guy moving forward. Definitely like him. Nick Taylor, yeah, fine there as well. All right, last time I want to pump this. We got that promo going, Masters 15. If you're not a member, or if you are a member, you can use it on an upgrade as well. Gets you 15% off any package. Now, if you're looking at some of this PGA stuff, if you're a PGA only type person, this will get you all the way through the Masters. So you get all our content for the players. You get all our content for the Masters as well. Basically, it takes you from a PGA only monthly package from $39 to $33.15. If you want to do an all access for $69, it takes you down to $58. It's the most affordable price in the industry. You can use it on upgrades as well. And then we will be selecting one person that uses it for an annual, 6 month, or an all access annual, and they're going to get their money back. So if you sign up for any of those, PGA annual, 6 month, or an all access annual, we'll select one person and they will get their money back. So now's the time to join if you have not already done so, or you can upgrade too, obviously using that code. And then Paul says, lots of building options for sure. Feels like we're back after I mean, it's going to be full go here now. These fields are going to be very strong. We've got all the majors coming up. I mean, this just kind of starts it. It's going to be a lot of fun moving forward for PGA, and our team, our members continue to have a ton of success. So I'm excited for PGA season to kind of move forward here this year. Pride ourselves on our PGA product. We continue to improve and add on along the way. So thanks to everyone for your support. It's going to do it though here for the first look. We'll have all our content dropping this week. We'll have the main show on Wednesday, myself and a special guest. We haven't announced it yet, but it's a very, very special guest and a guy that knows a ton about PGA DFS. So make sure you tune in Wednesday, 2:30 Eastern. All our other content will start to drop Tuesday night. Our guy, Lee Aldrich, all his stuff gets out nice and early. The value report, the course fit report, tons of very, very valuable information from our guy, Lee, that drops very early. So make sure to head on over to SHIPITNation.com and check it all out. But make sure to tune in this week. We'll be back all week with content leading up to the Players. Huge contest around the industry. We're going to get those SHIPIT Nation logos to the top. We'll be back for the rest of the content here throughout the week.